First Democratic debate, we are getting a new look at how frontrunner Hillary Clinton fares in potential matchups with her GOP rivals, and it doesn't look good for the former Secretary of State right now. She's losing to Donald Trump, Jeb Bush, Ben Carson, and Carly Fiorina. But as the Democrats take their turn finally on the debate stage in prime time, what must they do to remain afloat or, in some cases, stand out? And for that, let's begin our pre-debate debate with the campaign surrogates. Ann Lewis is a surrogate for the Hillary Clinton campaign. Representative Raul, Grijalva, a Sanders campaign surrogate, and one of two members of Congress to endorse the Vermont senator. And Liz Smith is the deputy campaign manager for Martin O'Malley. It is great to see all three of you. Ann, I want to begin with you because we've seen a lighter side of Hillary Clinton over the last couple of weeks leading to the debate, especially in the interview with BuzzFeed's Another Round podcast. Yes. I want to remind everybody about that. Take a listen.
You guys are the first to realize that I'm really not even a human being. I was constructed in a garage in Palo Alto a very long time ago. People think that, you know, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they created it.
They don't even know.
Oh, no. I mean, a man whose name shall remain nameless created me in his garage.
All right, so that was a very off-the-cuff and authentic Hillary Clinton. We should note that MSNBC's parent company, NBC Universal, did make an investment in BuzzFeed. But do you think that Hillary Clinton needs to come off more like the character Val that she played on Saturday Night Live, mesh that with the real Hillary, and give that to the American people tonight?
Well, you know, I think that is the real Hillary. The Hillary I know is capable of being Val, being the bartender that you can tell your problems to, of sitting around with her friends and exchanging some jokes like I was actually creating a garage, and also at the same time talking about how do we work for the American people. And I think what you're going to see tonight is that very human, very relatable Hillary Clinton, but she's also going to take this moment to talk to millions of people about what's her agenda for the future. What is it we do to raise wages, to reduce inequality, to grow this country, and to build families and give them the future that they want for their children? So you're going to see some of each, just as you've seen perhaps a different side of Hillary in the last month, but it's going to grow, and you're going to continue to see that side. You will see Val, you'll see Hillary, the policy wonk, and you're also going to see Hillary speaking about what are the issues and the agenda the next president's got to face.
Meanwhile, there's been a big enthusiasm for Congressman Bernie Sanders. He's been riding this wave of Feel the Burn, that movement over the last several months. Congressman, though, I want to play for you what he had to say to my colleague Chuck Todd Sunday on Meet the Press. Look at this.
The other day I noticed you said, you know what, don't use the word socialist. I'm gonna say I'm a progressive. No. Are you pushing back on the idea, or you embrace I'm a European socialist?
Look, when one of your Republican colleagues gets on the show, do you say, are you a capitalist? Have you ever referred to them as capitalists?
Yeah. Are you a capitalist?
No. I'm a democratic socialist.
All right, so I know, Congressman, that he has your support, but can he win a general election on that message?
I think the message is beyond that part of the interview with Todd. The message that is resonating is the message that I think this debate gives Bernie an opportunity to amplify, more people to hear, more people to see, and that is the whole fundamental message that people shouldn't lose sight of, and that's about economic fairness and a just economy where everybody is getting an opportunity in this country. That's not the case now, and the reason that Bernie is being having a great campaign at this point and will continue to have one is because it's resonating and people are hearing in the vast echo chamber one voice talking about the issue that affects them the most on a basis.
Well, Liz, we know that you and your team for Governor O'Malley has been working very hard. In spite of that, though, you've struggled to break through so far in the campaign, with the governor being at the bottom of the polls. However, there was a lighter moment that kind of caught fire of him planking in Las Vegas. That circulated on Twitter via Snapchat. You see him there reading as he's doing his planks. So he has these personable moments. Are you in the campaign advising him that he needs to go after Hillary Clinton tonight? He needs to break through and the headlines need to be about O'Malley on Wednesday and Thursday?
Well, first of all, he is an incredible planker, and I would put his planking skills up against anyone else's on that stage tonight. But look, no, what we're advising him and what he knows that he needs to do is to introduce himself. He's got a great story to tell. He's the only person on that stage who doesn't just have progressive values, but who's actually put them into action, raising the minimum wage, abolishing the death penalty, passing the DREAM Act, signing into law marriage equality. I could go on forever and ever here, but you know, he won't shy away from making any contrasts, and there are real contrasts that between the candidates that the American people should hear tonight.
And speaking of those contrasts, Jan, I want to ask you about this because Clinton may have an issue about shifting positions that she felt just last week. She came out against the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement, something she had called the gold standard when she was Secretary of State. Do you think she's prepared for that potential attack from someone like Bernie Sanders and Martin O'Malley?
I know she's prepared because what she can say is, look at my record. I have been consistent. Yes, I said that could be the gold standard when it was first introduced, and we began working on it. Now that the deal has been completed and I look at it, it doesn't live up to the standards I have set, which are American jobs, America's economic well-being. It's not good enough. And if you look at Hillary's record, remember, she voted against the Central American Free Trade Agreement. She has voted for some free trade bills when she was in the Senate. She's voted against others. So I think her record is consistent. It's clear. It's putting the interests of American working people first, and she will have a chance to explain that tonight.
One other person that is looming large.
Thomas, can I jump in here?
Go ahead, Liz.
Can I just, you know, and one thing I just want to say on the trade issue is that Secretary Clinton gave 45 speeches endorsing TPP, including calling it the gold standard. And I was talking to someone in the Obama administration the other day, and they said that since she was involved in negotiations, the deal has gotten more progressive, not less. So I think it's hard for her to say, to go from saying that it's the gold standard to now saying that it won't help American workers. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem, is that everything that she's doing right now seems to be driven by polls and not by principles. And
how do you respond to that?
Well, I'm glad somebody's keeping track of Hillary's public remarks, but I think if you go back and look even at those 45 speeches, which, as Liz has just said, were made before the deal had been completed, before it had been filled in, she talked about this is the direction we need to go. Remember, Hillary strongly believes in diplomacy, strongly believes in economic statecraft, believes in reaching out so that our Pacific partnership can be as strong and as vital as our European partnership. But end of the day, bottom line, exactly what was in that deal. And because it does not have anything about currency manipulation.
Yeah, Congressman, jump in, because I know that Hillary's pretty much taking the lead of where Bernie Sanders has been.
No, I think the issue is this. You know, Bernie, his position on the trade agreement, Keystone, raising the minimum wage, investments in opportunity and education were dismissed not too far ago as, you know, Don Quixote chasing windmills. Suddenly, that is now leadership. And as people adapt to those positions, as Bernie has said, we're gratified people have joined that fight. There's the hardest thing in politics is consistency. And one thing that Bernie has done through his career, and many times dismissed as a gadfly, and they were wrong, now that message is mainstream. That message is being heard, and that message is gathering support. So consistency is paying off, and it's now being translated into leadership, and others are following, and we're gratified.
All right, I have one last question, and I need a yes or no, so I can't give you any more time. Joe Biden watching from the Naval Observatory. And do you think Biden should get in this race, yes or no?
He should do what is best for him and his family. We all respect him, admire him. It's up to him.
All right, Congressman, yes or no?
It's his call. I think everybody that's in has made that call. It's his call.
All right, Liz, I anticipate you can give me a one-word answer, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So thank you. Liz thinks that Biden should get in the race. I appreciate that. Ann Lewis supporting Hillary Clinton.
The more the better.
Congressman Raul Grijalva supporting Bernie Sanders, and Liz Smith with the O'Malley campaign. And yes, we expect to see a robust debate tonight, whether Joe Biden is in it or not. We look forward